Alrighty, so we're going to continue solving equations. This time we're going to throw in some decimal fun. I know how much you like that. But again, as a reminder here, we want to, again, write down the original problem. Double check for accuracy. We aren't going to have a distributed property of combined like terms in this set, like we haven't so far. Add, subtract, right, to get the variable by itself. It doesn't matter what kind of number it is. That's what we're going to have to do. And then the next one, we'll multiplying, dividing. And always go back and do that check. So here we're just down to addition subtraction today, and what that looks like, again, as a reminder here, is, again, the steps we want to follow is write it down accurately, right? Then will be the add and subtract, so these are going to be nice one-step equations. So we're down to add and subtract here, and then we'll always go back and check our answers. So those are what's expected for the stuff we're working on right now. We'll get that out of the way here for now. The example we have in front of us, first off, is solve this. So n plus 4.5 equals negative 9.7. Obviously, 4.5. Now, if that was just 4, you'd go, oh, I'm going to subtract 4. Same thing with decimals. So subtract the 4.5 from both sides. Subtract the 4.5 from both sides. And I guess I do expect that you're able to do this, right? So here we have negative 9.7 minus 4.5. So remember, technically you are adding. Since they're both negatives here, and so we get negative 14.2, and the check again, plug that back in, negative 14.2 plus 4.5, really kind of subtracting here, right? That is negative 9.7. So pause, go into class kick, your turn. So there's a couple you had to solve here, and again, we're going to go back and work them here. So here we have x plus 4.9 equals 18.8. Obviously, we're going to subtract 4.9 from both sides. You can see, obviously, I already have the answer here for you. So again, double check, did you write it down correctly? Secondly, we're just going straight to add and subtract here. We don't have the other stuff in there yet, and then we'll go back and check it. So x equals whatever 18.8 minus 4.9 is. A little bit of borrowing fun, right, when you do that. So if we were to show the work, just as a reminder to you here, we have 18.8 minus 4.9. And yeah, you'll have to subtract here. 8 becomes a 7. 18 minus 9 is 9. Bring down that decimal point. 17 minus 4 is 13. So 13.9 is our answer there. And again, the check. You go back. You plug that in. And we find that we have, let's see, 13.9 plus 4.9. Does that equal 18.8? And if you added it, you'd find, yeah, that is 18.8 on both sides. Therefore, my answer was correct. Moving along, let me get this out of the way here. And if you needed that, you can go ahead and pause and back up so you can get a chance to look at it again. But anyway, on here we have negative 24.23 added to b. So to undo that, there are two ways to look at it. You can subtract negative 24.23. So you go minus 24.23 minus 24.23. Then you might remember, minus negative rather 24.23. I remember really what you're doing in this case is when they have double negatives, you're really adding, right? So you find out we didn't really even need those double negatives on there, so we can actually kind of wipe that out. So what you're really doing in the end here is adding 24.23 to both sides, right? So on this side we get b equals, so 14.73 plus 24.23. If you were to check that, you'd find that is 38.96. So show me the work if you maybe get stuck up in the work, ask for some help on that sort of thing. But otherwise, just straight up adding really in this one. And again, don't forget that check. Plug this 38.96 back in here and find out if it's true. Continue for more examples from me. Now, when you're working with decimals, it's not a bad idea to do some estimating, right? Do some estimating so you can figure out, hey, is my answer reasonable? So use diagram below. A communication satellite is circling Earth. About how far is the satellite from the moon? So here we know this is, let's see here, use this diagram, 22.3 thousand miles, right, to the satellite. And the total distance between Earth and Moon is 239.9 thousand miles. So we're looking at, okay, well, we're going to subtract then, right? So we'd say that, well, 22.3 is about 22. 239.9 is about 240. Subtract 240, subtract 22, you get 218. So if you were to do the actual work, right, come back, well, is it about 218? Pause, head into class kick, your turn. A source cost plus markup is the price you pay for an item. So in other words, if they pay $5, they mark it up 10, you pay 15, right? Suppose a pair of shoes costs a store $35.48 and you pay $70. Write and solve an equation to find the store's markup. So what we're looking at here is writing the following equation. So the store's markup, 35.48 plus the markup. So again, $35.48 was their cost, equals the $70 that you pay. Solution here, pretty straightforward stuff. Subtract 35.48 from both sides. And M equals, so again here, right, you're going to put in some zeros, right? Do a little borrowing and all that, just as a reminder, right? So once you subtract, you find you get 34.52, and that's in dollars, so don't forget to label it dollars. $34 rather, 52 cents we're looking for. Continue for more examples from me. So just as we subtract and solve an equation, we're going to have to add. So if you see subtraction, right, that opposite operation is to add. So in this case, k minus 144 equals negative 18.39. Obviously, again, make sure you copy down correctly. We're down to the add and subtract phase, so you're going to add what's been subtracted already. So 144.4 gets added to both sides. Now pay attention over here, because this is a negative, and this is a positive, so you're really going back to subtracting, right? So you can kind of see why I spent so much time reviewing this stuff for your integer or your decimal and all your operations with you, right? So you're really subtracting, so it's negative 3.99. Again, the check, don't forget, right? Go back and plug that negative 3.99 in and prove that it's true. Again, your turn. Go back to class kick and work a couple. Alrighty, so here we have a couple for you to work. Obviously, this time we're adding to solve. So we start out with n minus 58.5 equals 15.25. And again, you can see I've already produced the answer here for you. What we're really doing is adding 5.85 to both sides of this equation. There's a 5, I promise it is. That's not very clear. We can make that look prettier. Let's see, so back here. So add 5.85 to both sides. And we find that n equals, well, you're adding 15.25 and 5.85, 21.1. You might have 20.10 maybe, right? 21.1 is just fine, though. And on B, change my pen color here. We're going to add 2.6 to both sides. Add 2.6 to both sides. Now, obviously, what you're really doing here is, these have different signs, so you're really subtracting. So, and it's going to be a negative answer because there's more negative, right, if you think about it that way. So C equals, 10 minus 2.6 is 7.4, and again, we'd already decided that was going to be negative. That's what we're looking at there. And again, if you need help with those operations, see me. Come and sit down. I'll work them with you. I just don't want to waste your time in here in case you've already got it, right? Continue for more examples from me. So continuing with this whole adding thing, right? It says Denzel wrote a check for $76.85. His new account balance is $235.15. What was his previous balance? So if we say that whole let statement thing, right, kind of get used to that idea. Let P be the previous balance. That's what I want to know. So previous balance minus the $76.85 equals $235.15. Now, most of you knew you're already going to add these two numbers together anyway, right? Which is really what you're doing. You add $76.85 to both sides. So yeah, you're really adding $235.15 plus $76.85, getting that $312 even. Don't forget to label dollars. Pause, go ahead and head on to class kick, and you work a couple. I'll be watching. Come back here to check them. Alrighty. You spent $14.95 for a new shirt. Now you have $12.48. Write and solve an equation to find how much money you had before you bought the shirt. So if we say X is the dollars you had before you bought the shirt, right? So X equals dollars before, if you want to be easy about it. So we write that X minus the $14.95 you spent. Now you have $12.48. I almost wrote the wrong thing there. There we go. $12.48. And obviously, again, to solve here, we're going to add 14.95 to both sides. Add 14.95 to both sides. And X is, we'll find $27.43. That's what you had before. Kind of a strange amount to have in your pocket, but there you go. You have some homework over this. Go ahead and get to that if you don't have any questions.